collector's item.
Okay, we got a serious question here.
Okay.
When John Bon Jovi is in the mood to be making out with his wife, what song does he put on to get married?
I don't have a song to tell you. That's pretty funny though.
Imagine you coming in like the bathrobe sexual healing thing. Rose petals, Tony. We've been together for 32 years. You're just happy there's no kids in the bedroom.
John, my name's Pam, and I've been in the United States maybe for as long as you've been touring, so that's awesome.
Wow.
But I have a question for you. Like the young lady over here, I love the Select Side Coast. That feels awesome. And I was wondering if you guys ever thought about doing a USO tour in that aspect.
I tell you, nobody's ever asked us. How about that?
Military, right?
Well,
America's band. Nobody's ever asked us.
we'll ask for you.
Okay.
Hi, John, I'm Tammy from Montreal. Thank you so much for doing 5 shows.
Yeah, I'm from Montreal.
And as a Leonard Cohen fan, I'm a Halloween fan too.
Yeah,
so I have that
yeah.
in. I have a question of the creative process. I've seen you interviewed and you say you start with a title first and then things come from that. Is there a song that stands out at all that completely broke apart the norm of how you write? That stands out, that just sort of showed up?
You know, Hallelujah, the Cotton song that they sing. I feel so satisfied to hear that it took him 5 years to write that song. Because it's so good that it just kills me. It makes me never want to write a song again.
I heard it from live.
Yeah, it's a whole different thing. But as he said about our version, my version, is that I understood the irony of the lyric. A lot of times I hear kids do that song, and again, I don't want to just give names, but they didn't understand how sexual that song is. That's what that song is. Leonard Cohen looks like that and sounds like that, but he had a lot of women. That's why. It's those lyrics, girls are just... Now, getting back to your question about our things, I don't know. I mean, Wanted fell in our laps. We wrote it in 2 hours. Living on a Prayer was written all that day. You know, pop songs like Bad Medicine took rewrites. It's My Life we wrote, you know, in the moment. Born to Follow, quick. It seems that the ones that we toil over weren't as good sometimes, you know, or didn't work out as well sometimes. You know, that we tried to get too smart. But a lot of the good ones come quick.
Hi, John. I'm Leah from New Jersey.
Hey.
Hi. You can live anywhere in the world, some exotic island, but you continue to live in New Jersey, New York area, tri-state area for all these years. What's kept you connected to the tri-state area?
Well, that's where I'm from, first of all. That's where I'm born and raised. I spend most of my time in Manhattan. But of course, our residence is still the Jersey house. And Bruce said to me, Johnny, you can't move from New Jersey. I was like, oh yeah, watch me. Because, you know, I know what he meant by that, is that this is who you are. I don't like Hollywood Coffee. I don't like anything about it. I don't like the people. I don't like the architecture. I don't like the traffic jams. I think it's the most shallow pool in the universe, full of a lot of neurotic, self-centered, selfish, bullshit people. Thank you.
He doesn't like Hollywood.
I don't mind going there to work, but I wish we should get the hell out of it. But I'm from Jersey. That's it. You know, I'm just a Jersey science experiment. that's home for me. That's all.
Hi John, I'm Sandy from London. My question is, I was watching a programme on the television a while back, and there were people from the 60s and 70s talking about how they couldn't write songs like they wrote then, but they want to be more appropriate to where they're at in their lives. So I wondered if you took that time machine of yours, say 15, 20 years into the future, how you would visualise yourself as a musician then.
I don't know that I clearly understand your question. If what you're asking me is if in 15 years from now do I feel that writing what we write and the way we write would be appropriate or fitting in the times, what are you asking? To say where it's going?
Yeah, just like a fantasy.
I did a little talk show right there actually in the last week, being in London, surrounded by music. Glastonbury's on TV on a couple different channels. You got the Hard Rock Horn Festival. You're out there. I look around at some artists that I think either chose not to push themselves forward or time passed them and they didn't want to try to keep up with what was happening. Every generation has somebody that they bitch and moan about. You know, that threat of the next thing. And yet, through it all, the good ones will emerge. And case in point, this week, there's a lot of people slagging U2. I happen to adore them. I've always adored them. I like them as people. I love their music. And Bono and I were texting back and forth from Glastonbury, and I was in Manchester. And I said, don't let the bastards get you down. You know, just go out there and be great. In a world that, you know, they saw this generation, there was guys from the 60s that were slagging them in the 80s, and now the new kids are saying, you know, they're old and washed up. And I thought to myself, oh, first of all, I'm glad I'm not the only one that's getting kicked around. But, you know, you stay true to what it is that you do and do it well, and then you'll find an audience and it'll resonate. So, as long as it's genuine and pure, it lives forever. And I think every artist is insecure about what he's going to do in the future, what he's going to say, if he's going to want to keep up that fight. Because it's not easy. But should you choose it, or it chooses you, it's, you know, the future's wide open, and it's what you make it.
Okay, John, front right.
Hi, John. Martin Cheryl from New Jersey. What we want to know, now that you have been on President Obama's Council for Community Solutions for a while, what is your key takeaway, and how do you think that's going to impact both your writing and your philanthropic work?
Yeah, I think it will eventually impact it. You know, I'm the only face or name that anyone knows on that council, the only celebrity, anything. And then we sort of showed them this concept of the way these forums would be held. And because I had started doing this in Seattle in the first shows of the tour, before the council was formed, you could get the same opinion from 15 as you could from 150 or 1,500 people. But what I've taken away from it is that a number of things. These kids that are caught up in being disconnected, or as they call them, disenfranchised youth, a lot of them get into minor but nonetheless criminal trouble, puts some of them in jail, therefore they have a record, then it's harder to get jobs. There's documentation, simple things like when you're in foster care and you don't have a relationship with your parents or even the place you were born, you don't have an identification, proper identification to get a social security card to get a job. So what I'm getting at is that they need access and they need second chances. And half the population at Rikers Island in New York are there for minor drug offenses that were caused without any assault or guns. You know, so one guy really particularly stands out in my mind. He got a job in a culinary school, and because he could wear a chef's jacket and the checkered pants that they often wear in the kitchens, that gave him pass-through in New Orleans so that the cops knew that he wasn't some, young kid that may be or maybe not in trouble on the street. They go, oh, you got a job, go to work. He said, I'd rather have this job for 10 or 15 bucks an hour with the opportunity to grow than make $600-800 a day being a drug dealer where I'm gonna get shot. But because I have a criminal record, I have to just be happy to get whatever I get. So that takeaway that I really got out of that conversation was second chances are really important.
All right, John, we have the last question. We know you have to go to work tonight. Have something to do. This is the last question.
Hi, it's Stacy from Alberta. First of all, I just want to let you know I made a scrapbook and made one for you. I'll give it to the guy after. It's just from a fan's view. He's got it, okay? We all love your songs. We're wondering what your favorite 5 songs are in the world from different artists.
That's a tough question to answer, honestly off the cuff, but Hallelujah would be one of them. There's probably 10 Dylan songs you could put in there because they're so timeless, classic, and important. Bridge Over Troubled Water would have to be in there. I'm sure there's a handful of Beatles songs that would have to be in there. Tom Waits stuff, Petty stuff, U2 stuff. I like it's a real broad range of music. It's really hard to give it 50. But it's something that connects with you lyrically. I can't dance, you know that. All right, I have to go to work. I gotta go put Humpty Dumpty together again, but thanks all for being here.
Once again, guys, I'll take all your gifts. We'll bring them up here. I'll bring them backstage. Let's give this Bon Jovi a great round of applause. Thank you for coming.
He's got to get to work. Sorry, guys. He's got to get to work. Thanks, John.